Thank you so much for coming out on a Wednesday at 6 o'clock. If you were like me, you'd be home watching Matlock or doing something like that, but you decided to do this, and I appreciate it so much. So welcome to the Bridge Presbyterian Church. We love doing these concerts, having people, and just big thanks to everybody that gives money, supports. And I wanted to talk real quick. So on the back of your program, just take a look when you get a second, but just different tiers, different ways you can donate to this. And we'll also be taking a love offering later before intermission for the artists as well. So appreciate so much for coming out. And thank you so much. And I'm going to give it to Dr. Sink to just do a little introduction. Thank you.
Thank you, Jetson, and welcome everyone. I'll preface by saying this print was much larger when I looked at it this morning. But we're very fortunate to have Dr. Kevin Ayesh, a good friend of mine. We worked together for many years. And just to give you a little bit of his background, Kevin has performed solo concerts with orchestras in all 50 states, Puerto Rico, District of Columbia, as well as Canada, United Kingdom, Ireland, Iceland, Belgium, the Netherlands, Germany, Switzerland, Hong Kong. I'm tired just reading all that. And he was a visiting artist for the state of North Carolina for 4 years, where he performed approximately 50 solos or occasions per season for the 4 years in the community college system. He's appeared as a soloist with many orchestras. He's played numbers such as Beethoven's Second and Third, Brahms' First, Rachmaninoff's Second, Schumann's Op. 7, and one of our favorites for everybody, Gershwin's Rhapsody in Blue, which he will play for us tonight. He's a recipient of many prizes and awards and contests, national and international competition. He has adjudicated music teachers at national auditions for the state of North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia. The list goes on and on for the things that Dr. Ayesh has done. For nearly 3 decades, he was the dean for the music program at Blue Ridge Community College up in Hendersonville, North Carolina. And as a result of his good efforts, Blue Ridge Community College was the first community college in North Carolina out of 58 colleges to receive the Bellwether Award, which is awarded annually by the University of Florida. Well, thanks to Dr. Ayesh's contribution and some other faculty members and college administrators, Blue Ridge Community College did that for 3 years in a row, and it's a record that still stands. Dr. Ayesh is a native of Wichita, Kansas. He earned his bachelor's degree from the University of Texas in Austin with lots of honors. He got a master's degree and a doctorate from the University of Maryland. We're fortunate tonight to have his lovely wife here as well, Donna Ayesh. And we welcome Dr. Ayesh, who drove all the way from just outside of Flat Rock, North Carolina, which is somewhere between a 5 and a 6 hour drive to get here. I'll have some stories to tell you about Dr. Ayesh right after the intermission. But right now, I've already been up here too long, so please welcome Dr. Kevin Ayesh.
Hello? Okay. Thank you, Dr. Sink, for that very, very kind, nice introduction. And thank you for inviting me to play here at the Bridge Church here in Leland. I've had a fun day today and got to practice on this lovely instrument this afternoon. Before I play my first piece, I would like to say a couple of things about Dr. Sink. He always plays it down, but I owe my career in music to Dr. Sink. And I'll tell you why. First of all, he hired me on as North Carolina visiting artist, which brought me into the North Carolina Community College system. And it was a 2-year a program where I could be at the school for 2 years. He kept me for the 2 years. And I was all but dissertation at the time. And I had applied for other teaching jobs. And one of the jobs in a western state, the dean said, well, you work on that doctorate in the summertime, not on while you're teaching fall and spring semester, blah, blah, blah. Dr. Sink said, you finish that doctorate while you're here at Blue Ridge as our visiting artist. And Dr. Sink was always encouraging other faculty to finish up and work on their doctorates while they were teaching at Blue Ridge Community College. So I have Dr. Sink to thank for allowing me to finish my doctorate on work time. And then I also thank him for hiring me back after my visiting artist eligibility, 4 years was up, and hiring me to start the music degree program at Blue Ridge Community College. And he said to me in that interview, I know some colleges and universities put a lot of emphasis on publish or perish. I want you going out and playing concerts. So I was able to go, as he mentioned some of the places I've played around the country and out of the country playing concerts while I was employed at Blue Ridge Community College. It was a wonderful career, wonderful time there, and I'm blessed by God to be able to still do in retirement what I enjoyed doing in my career, teaching music and performing piano concerts. So, beginning with the Beethoven Opus 13 Sonata, known as the Pathétique. First of all, next year, 2027, is a Beethoven celebration year because on Good Friday next year, which is March 26th, it is the 200th anniversary of Beethoven's death. The 250th birthday anniversary of his birth, which was in 2020, December 2020 to be exact. Of course, COVID threw a wrench in that, as well as a lot of other things. So Beethoven is finally, we hope, knock on wood, no more pandemics or other crises like that. Hopefully Beethoven will get his due next year. Not that he needs his due, he already has it. But the Pathétique Sonata is probably, of the 32 piano sonatas of Beethoven, in the top 5 in popularity. It was a sonata that Beethoven himself performed a lot in Vienna during that time when he was known maybe more as a pianist than a composer. Beethoven went deaf pretty early in life and had to give up his performing career. Thank God he didn't give up his composing career. But the Beethoven Opus 13 comes early enough before he had lost his hearing while he was still performing. Audiences were always asking Beethoven to play this sonata, which is we know today as Opus 13. In 3 movements, fast, slow, fast. The first movement has a slow introduction, but other than that, it's pretty typical classical sonata form. So do I press that? There we go. Okay. The water, I'll put it right here. Okay. I'm going to, I see. Some microphones you have to talk loud into. This one, obviously, you don't. Thank you very much. So now some Chopin to round off the first half. A lot of people I know in this world, Chopin is their favorite composer. I know that's Dr. Singh's favorite composer. And I know that the Heroic Polonaise is either Dr. Singh's favorite piece or just about his favorite piece. And for years, he asked me to play it. I said, okay, do I get a call from Dr. Sink and about coming to play here? And I said, of course. But I really ought to play that Polonaise. So the term heroic doesn't apply to my less than heroic. I have a lot of things I play. My heroic efforts to try to get it back in my fingers in a month, and it's not as far along as I'd like it to be, but hopefully I can pull it off. And then I decided to precede the Polonaise with 3 etudes by Chopin. Etude means study piece, and of course, when you think of all these beautiful, beautiful, sublimely gorgeous pieces by romantic composers like Schubert, Schumann, Brahms, I'm going to play Brahms later, Chopin, Mendelssohn, Liszt, and they're such gorgeous pieces. They have titles like Prelude, Intermezzo, study piece. We call these absolute titles as opposed to programmatic titles. So I used to tell my students, you can't judge a book by its cover, and you can't judge the beauty of a piece just by its title. In fact, the first of these etudes I'm going to play for you, the etude in E major, some say that's one of the most beautiful melodies ever written. I definitely agree with that. What's it a study in, though? Voicing. I mean, when you play the piano, as we all know, our thumbs are heavier than our outer fingers. But in this etude, the melody, and in most pieces, the melody is, in this etude anyway, the melody is played by the upper fingers here, the weaker fingers. And the harmony is played by the stronger fingers, and you have to keep those stronger fingers from clunking and making, and overpowering the melody. So that it's a study in voicing. Then I'm following that with the etude in G flat major, which is known as the black key etude. And G flat major, for those of you that know, uses all 5 of the black keys. And the last time I checked, the right-hand part of this piece, every single note is a black key, except for one note. But since I'm a human being and not a robot or anything, there will probably be a few more white keys than those intended by Chopin. And then the next one, the E flat minor, is the most melancholy piece on tonight's program. Again, it's a study in lyrical melody and keeping what I'd like to call it noodling harmony in the left hand, keeping that as soft as you can. And then the E flat minor etude ends on an E flat major chord, which is a perfect segue into the A flat Polonaise, but begins on the dominant chord of E flat. So 3 etudes and then the heroic Polonaise by Chopin.
That was wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. So we are going to have a real quick intermission, about 15 minutes. But first off, I just want to say thank you again so much for Dr. Kevin Ash for coming, and for Dr. David Sink for coming, for inviting your friend to come here. And also, I wanted to give a shout out to Dr. Sink. He paid to have this piano tuned, and it sounds. It sounded good before. It sounded so beautiful. So I just want to say thank you so much for doing that and coming here, and while the piano tuner's here. And but I want to talk a little bit. So for any visitors or anybody watching online, we are the Bridge Presbyterian Church. This is an awesome place if you're looking for a place to worship on Sundays at 9 and 10:30. The people here are just great, very friendly. There's lots of small groups and things like that, and just want to let you know about that. And also, I want to just give a thanks to our sound guy. Let's give a hand to Dave and little Steven back there. They're doing such a great job. We could not do it without them. Also to Bruce Garris for making this logo on the back that I'm going to talk to you briefly about. So tonight we're going to take up a small love offering for the artist. 100% goes to the artist tonight. But if you're interested in the future, having more concerts, having more people, I'm always open to recommendations. I want to know what you guys are into, what you're listening to. Artists, we could bring in, somebody said Phil Kagi, the guitarist. I was like, man, that's a wonderful idea. That'd be great. So, but if you'd like to give, it's 100% tax deductible. You can pay by check, the Bridge Presbyterian Church, and then right on there in the memo line, the Bridge Concert Series. Tonight will be all for the artist, but if you'd like to give another time, just come see me or Wanda, or you can give it on Sundays as well. So, but tonight we will have a small love offering as well, and Dr. Sink will be playing a piece that he played live at Carnegie Hall. So take it away, Dr. Sink.
I've been asked to play elevator music while you're passing the love offering. And then right before Dr. Ash comes back, I'm going to play something that I did at Carnegie Hall. Thanks to Dr. Ash, I was able to do that. So right now, I didn't know I didn't prepare for the elevator music, so we'll just see what happens. So.
Also, I'm in to say thank you for hospitality, for bringing the treats. So there's some treats back there. Help yourself, and we'll be back in about 10, 15 minutes. So.
between the dampers too. That's why I bought my piano because it was so pretty. 'Cause they did the red piping all the way around the inside, and it just looks so nice. And I was annoyed with the ball.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Ash. That was wonderful. And now we're all looking forward to the second half. But I must tell you a lovely story about Dr. Ash. In 1983, 84, he and I went to New York City, and we bought 4 Steinways for our college, Blue Ridge Community College. And the grandson of Mr. Steinway took us down in the basement of Carnegie Hall, and there are like 50 pianos in there. And like there's each artist that's ever performed at Carnegie Hall had his own piano. You know, there was my favorite Ray Charles, and there was there was Elton John, John Lennon, Paul McCartney, another favorite, Victor Borge, Horowitz, Van Claveren. But there was one piano out on the stage, which I had seen Ray Charles play in 1973, and there was a Steinway piano. It had Ray Charles' name on it. And so here's his piano on the stage, and hey, I'm at Carnegie Hall. So to borrow a little bit of time from Dr. Ash in the second half, I'm going to play my favorite Ray Charles song that I did at Carnegie Hall.
What memories that performance just brought back to me. Gosh, that was amazing, and probably, second in to that performance that he gave on the stage of Carnegie Hall. I remember it so well. Of course, I'm not sure if Dr. Singh told you, but he was the only one there in the hall playing it. So he's played in Carnegie Hall, but only his ears and I think mine off stage were the only ones that heard it. But still, he's played in Carnegie Hall. And so, so anyway, yeah, there will be some jazz influence in the second half of my program, as well with the Rhapsody in Blue. But first, another one of those romantic era character pieces with a kind of a nondescriptive name like intermezzo, which means literally intermission piece. And of course, just by coincidence, I'm playing the piece right at or right after intermission. Gorgeous piece, one of the most beautiful pieces I think ever written. Rivals the Chopin E major etude. See what you think. Brahms Intermezzo in A major, Opus 118, number 2. very much. Okay, Rhapsody in Blue. Yes, there are several versions, piano and orchestra, piano and wind instruments, and the solo version, which obviously we're going to hear tonight. I have played the orchestral version 2 or 3 times, I can't remember, but one of the 3 times was with the Hendersonville Symphony Orchestra when we had the gala grand opening of the Bo Thomas Auditorium in the David W. Sink Jr. building, the Blue Ridge Community College, Flat Rock. Dr. Sink had the vision, not surprising, that when they built this teaching auditorium, equipped back in 2001, I mean, that was, modern technology to have all the cameras and stuff set up for distance learning and so forth. But Dr. Singh said, I also want this to be a performance space. And then also in addition, thankfully, and I wanted to have the finest Steinway pianos, and so hence our trip to New York. But so we had a gala opening concert, and we had piano forehand, we had this and that, and then we had the Hendersonville Symphony Orchestra playing on that stage with yours truly as the soloist for Rhapsody in Blue. Now, tonight I am both the piano and the orchestra. I'm the conductor, I'm the pianist. I love that fact because I can set my own tempos. I like the fact that I can try to imitate other instruments like the solo clarinet at the beginning or the solo violin in the, for lack of a better term, the United Airlines portion. And of course, I don't like the fact that I have no time to stop and think about things. Because in a concerto, when you play with orchestra, there's times when the pianist, the soloist sits out, the orchestra keeps playing, you get to catch your breath and think about what's next. Not so with this, but like I say so often, you can sit by the telephone all day and wait for a concert manager or a conductor to call you to play a concerto. But at least with this one, you can play it, it's at your fingertips whenever you want it. So the solo version of Rhapsody in Blue.
Thank you so much for everybody coming, and have a safe night, safe trip back. So thank you.